Yeah.
Anyway, good to see you, Bobo.
See you.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Nice day.
Well, whereabouts are you? Are you in London? Are you in Belfast? Are you in Cardiff or Dubai?
Cardiff. I'm in
Cardiff.
Cardiff. I mean
Cardiff.
Okay.
Actually, I think Cardiff got beat as well.
Yeah, it was. Gizzy's happy with.
Oh yeah, Gizzy's happy. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, because he was with the other.
The
other Taft team.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And then and Stephen.
Hello.
Are you changing your background?
Yeah, I've lost my.
Because Johnny, you would have said something, wouldn't you?
I probably would. Yeah, I would have done. I'm busy giving people their correct names, Dave. So I'm busy typing at the same time.
Goodbye.
Right. Where's Steve now? Is he with those two nurses? No.
No, I'm trying to find my picture.
Oh, Chris, is that Big C? The Big C Johnston's coming in.
I've got all the family in then.
Lovely. Yeah. And Bobo. Bobo, it's lovely to see you.
Lovely to see you, sir, too.
It's very good. You haven't seen Taffy since you've been back?
No.
Not yet.
He's been entrenched with the television.
That's the one. I've got it, babe. I've got it.
Hello, Chris. Welcome from the US of A. Can you hear us, Chris? No, he can't. Can you?
I can hear nothing.
I can hear you.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you, Scotty, which is great. You've been out on that beach again today.
Well, I'm about to change it.
Like that picture.
Actually, I was in the garden this afternoon, and it was really quite warm.
Yeah.
Sitting in the sun. Yeah.
Oh, lovely. And hello, BBC Pete.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, absolutely.
Loud and clear. Really good. Yeah.
Very good. Yeah. Johnny's very excited about this, Pete.
Thank you.
We can't hear Chris.
Can't hear Chris.
I know that's unusual for Chris, but I'm sure he'll get it figured out.
I got it figured out. You can hear it.
Oh, well done.
I just forgot to turn the audio on my Bluetooth device that plugs in from my headphones.
My
earbuds.
Yeah.
That's not a problem. You're looking very well there, Chris.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah.
That's good.
And you guys are looking good too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially at our age.
Yeah. Your age, Bobo.
At my age, sorry. Sorry, not close to me. Nobody's close to me.
Right, now, Scotty,
I didn't really name you.
Can you give us the script on those the two horses that have got a bit of a zebra leg?
Yeah, it's about its hip replacement or a knee replacement. So I'm about to change it again. I can't remember what it was.
What was that? What was that?
Can't
I'd like
find
to
it.
hear it. Scott, 'cause I'm having a knee replacement in March.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, are you
What?
really? Okay.
Yeah, I finally bit the bullet because been putting it off for 2 years, been on too many cruises.
Mm.
So we're going on a bunch of cruises. So I told Cindy that when we get back from Antarctica and Florida, I'm doing it
Good
because
man.
it's got to get done because I can walk a mile or 2 miles, but I can't walk 10 miles like Bobo and all the old geezers.
Oh yeah, that was a
And,
great book. Mm.
10 miles, Bobo,
Yeah,
huh?
anyway.
Yeah,
Wow.
just
Oh,
over 10 miles.
he does more than that.
Yeah, 10 miles is nothing. Yeah.
But Chris, it's
Right,
1 mile to each pub, and they get legless
Yeah.
by the end of it.
They're a great team of guys.
It's just like
So
a
the-
regular Friday night piss up then.
Yeah.
So the last few miles are a real struggle then,
Yeah.
but they have an incentive. Yeah.
Yeah, well, the incentive is the pub actually at the last pub.
Yeah. Got to make the last pub because it's got the best beer, right?
Yeah.
Even better. Even better. Now, Scotty, now what have you
Yes.
got behind you now?
That is the something princess. It's not a Hebridean princess, is it?
Is it? It's not the Hebridean spirit, is it?
Uh,
Is it a princess? Whatever it is.
yeah. Yeah.
Is
It's,
it the Hebridean? Is it the Hebridean?
There you go.
The Hebridean sky.
I don't really know.
Cheers,
I'll have a
Bob.
look on my phone. I'll find it. I'll find it for you.
Yeah. But it is-
Anyway, guys, I made a real exciting purchase this week.
go on.
We bought a electric vehicle.
Oh my.
Oh, flipping heck.
Yeah.
Not a-
I hope
not a
I hope you've
scooter.
got a very long lead.
Well, I get 3 years free charging as long as I
Really?
can
Oh.
find an Electrify America charging station.
Yeah, yeah.
Really? But we
Oh.
bought the Volkswagen ID4, real nice SUV, very very nice.
Nice.
Does
Excellent.
that get you about 300 miles, Chris?
Pardon?
Does that get you about 300 miles?
Well, I've got
One-
the all-wheel drive, so I've got an extra engine for the front wheels, and I've got the engine for the back wheels. 200 horsepower on the
So
back,
it's
100 horsepower on the front, and it gives me a 255-mile range from 0 to 100%. But with electric
Okay.
vehicles, they recommend that you don't charge it too often, over 80%, and don't run it down below like 10%. So
So if I was
basically-
going to visit my son in Spokane, that wouldn't do because it's 300 miles one way.
well, it would, because you just stop and charge, somewhere.
But
Yes, Johnny.
over the mountain passes, I don't think so. But that's okay.
You must have a charging station somewhere.
Well, I'm talking about when you go on the freeway over on I-90 over the pass and the mountains to Spokane.
Okay.
You know.
Maybe there
Anyway.
will be somewhere, Johnny, and we want you to put it to the
Yeah, okay,
test.
all right.
There must be red
Well,
tops,
well,
surely,
well,
John.
We're not getting one anyway, so it's okay.
Yeah, well, okay. So
Yeah.
otherwise, you need a very, very long lead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can charge it at home. I have a 240 volt, which is
Charger.
charger for like the plug, for like the washing machine
Yeah.
socket. They put one of those in my garage, so I can charge 220, 240 volts, which is what they call level 2 charging.
And how long
Level
does it take, Chris, to charge? How long does it actually take?
Well, level 3, which is what you get at the
Oh, lovely.
public charging stations, is level 3, and it will take me from charging from like 20% to 80% would take me about 30 minutes.
Oh, that's not too bad then.
Yeah.
That's
That's
brilliant.
the Hebridean
At home it would probably take me overnight, 6 hours, 8 hours. something.
Welcome, Blackpool Bob.
No,
Good to
Blackpool
see you.
Bob.
Hey, Bob.
Bob, can you hear us? Okay, we just
Oh, no
connected.
audio yet. Give me a second.
He's on the audio.
Audio now.
Bob. Are you there, Bob? Nearly. Nearly.
Yeah,
Bob,
but-
while you're tuning in, I've got a question for BBC Pete. Where is this photograph taken, and who is the homie?
Okay, it's a blank on both questions. I have no idea. I lifted it out of the catalogue.
We're not
Oh,
going to
did
say
you?
who it
Oh,
is.
you're not like John, just go around taking pictures of people's bums. Yeah.
No.
That was a long time ago, Steve.
Yeah, I know.
Although
Well,
that was a
you-
very
you're
good
young then,
picture,
John.
Johnny.
You're young and free and easy.
Hmm,
Exactly. Yeah.
good. That's all right. I'm doing another sound check. Blackpool Bob, are you in?
It's connected
Connected
now.
to
No,
It's
connected in.
in. You in, Bob?
Ah, there we are.
Oh, lovely.
I was having a bit of trouble
He's
there.
on, he's on his phone for the first time. That's why.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
my tablet thing is I'm having problems charging it, so I've had to come in on my
Oh,
phone.
Okay. No,
All right. Now, Bob, is it good for you? Can you turn your phone on its side just to give you an extra width? There you go. Yeah, that's good. That'll be good.
Robert can see
That's
that
great.
his hand.
That's flipping great. That is marvelous, Bob. No,
You
that's
see my
good.
hand?
Yeah, lovely. We can get the full Bob there. You see,
Oh, lovely. Yeah,
it's just the way we like it. Right. So have you got? Are you still got the dogs upstairs with your son Chris?
Yes, they're still upstairs. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Good, but you're looking all right, and you're obviously we can talk briefly for football at the moment. And you're a happy chappy. Did well yesterday.
Yeah, they did very well yesterday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
92nd minute or something, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, they should have won. I listened to it on the radio. They should have
Pete,
won, really.
Pete, we won't mention the game because it's upset me just thinking of you.
Well,
Which one?
Chelsea.
Yeah.
Well, it's the improvement that's encouraging.
Mm-hmm.
It's disappointing they let the lead slip.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
disappointing.
Yeah.
But
I know.
they're a good team, Arsenal.
Yeah, but it
Yeah,
looked
they are.
promising. Looks promising. And thank you, Steve Walker, for your team doing a favour for Bournemouth. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
I've got a question for the UK chaps. So besides Steve and a few people, how many people were watching United? Were they all watching the rugby?
Watching the rugby.
Watching the rugby, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the rugby was on free. The front rugby was on free to view, Dave, John.
Yeah.
But the football was
Steve,
live, so
it would.
Okay,
That's not
okay.
that's not the reason. All right.
they're all tight ass bastards. They won't spend any money.
Okay. Hey, but did you all see the rugby yesterday, boys?
Yeah. Watched
Yeah.
it live, and that's another lead that they let slip.
Oh, it's such a shame. Such a
Yeah.
shame. A real good effort, though. Very,
Yeah.
I reckon they should have tried and got to try and get another drop goal. They should have tried for another one.
They should have tried.
Well,
Yeah, they didn't. They didn't
much-
have
much
the.
earlier,
They didn't have the
much earlier.
space.
No.
They have the opportunity.
I'm not talking about the end. I'm talking,
No,
you know,
the South Africans knew what they were up to. So you just cut
Yeah,
out
that
the
last
space. That last
couple of minutes, they didn't have the space to do a drop goal.
You're
They
right.
weren't given the
You're right,
space.
Chris.
yeah.
You're
But what
right.
I'm saying is, he should have tried to get another one as soon
They
as
shouldn't
after he did the other one. You understand what I'm saying? I
They
mean,
shouldn't have given away that penalty. is
Well,
what they
that's
should
the
have done.
reason.
Yeah. Can you explain that, Chris? So they're in the scrum. That's where the
Yeah.
penalty occurred. So what happened to make that a penalty?
they collapsed the
Um,
scrum, didn't they?
No, he came into from the side. Which one? I can't think which one it was now. It came in from the side.
I
He done
can't.
it-
I can't remember. I'd have to watch it again to tell you.
He
What.
done it.
Yeah.
He done it a couple of times before.
Yeah.
So the ref had warned him about it. He only had himself to blame. You
Right.
can't come in from the side like that.
No.
Right.
Okay.
Oh,
Anyway,
it's a shame,
it-
a real shame. It was a great effort.
But
Yeah.
Yeah, it does show you how much England's improved though.
Yeah.
This whole World Cup,
Yeah,
because
they
they were
got
they
better
were
every
not-
time.
they were not favoured to go this far. You know,
No,
No, not at all. Not at
No.
all.
But
So they did well.
Taffy said that this will make the Six Nations in the new year should be a very entertaining tournament now. I think because
yeah, and
all the
as
teams,
Taff,
even Italy, are doing much better.
yeah, and as
It
Taffy
should
said
be
too,
quite a good
as Taffy
tournament.
said too, the Welsh team is such a young team. They've got a long way to go. You know, so they've got the time because the players are so young.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Scotty, have you managed to recognise the ship yet?
Yeah, it's the Sky.
It is the Sky.
Yeah. Hebridean
That's
Sky.
Well, that one actually is what was the Hebridean Spirit, which is I did work on it on 4 occasions, I think, whilst I was with
I
Hebridean
got Billy Bailey on because I'm going to mute myself.
Princess.
Right.
You're doing what?
Oh, okay, he's on the phone. All right.
is that
Yeah.
what Sky Princess?
Yeah. Sky Princess.
Hebridean
No,
Sky.
the Hebridean Sky.
Hebridean Sky, yeah. Cause I say,
Yeah, that's in where is it? It's not Stavanger. No, it's the last port of call on our Norway.
Bergen.
Right.
No, further down than that. I can't remember the name of the place. Began with an H, I think.
No.
can't think. We've all been there this year, but we can't think.
No.
Oh, up
Oh, by the way,
up north, up by North Cape.
No, that's Hoddingsbeg.
That's
Yeah.
too far.
Oh, okay.
No, Norway.
By the way, David, I'm going to apply for some parking rights in Leamington
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Is it a better rate than what I'm charging you?
in July next year.
Oh, what you mean the month that we're going to be away from home and lock
Oh,
up
yeah.
the place?
How much
Yeah,
room
just-
have you got? How much room have you got in
You
your
just
car?
arrange
That's
with the neighbours
all.
to take me to
But-
Southampton.
Steve, don't worry, but Bobo will be the car park attendant that week, won't you?
Of course.
No,
Give me a white coat. I need a white coat.
And
Yeah,
don't
we've
forget,
booked-
he'll sell your car again.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
I'll get
probably.
£2 for it.
Probably. Yeah, I've booked it today, actually.
Oh, well done. Well
Another
done.
2 weeks on the Sky Princess going to the Baltic cruise.
But don't forget, if you do get another group booking somewhere, let us know. I know I can't come on this one you were thinking of doing. But
Well,
if you
that-
see
well, it was
another
just an
one-
idea,
another
Dave. It
option,
wasn't like-
Steve.
It was nothing definite. It was just an idea.
Yeah.
Nice Alaska cruise would be good, wouldn't it?
But Bob, you'd like to be on the next one, wouldn't you? From Blackpool.
I would love. I'd love to do another one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll keep an eye open for some. We'll
Yeah.
get something organised at some point.
But Bob, will you be wanting to share a cabin with Ollie, or will you want to share a cabin with Steve Walker? We
don't
need
mind.
to know these things.
I don't mind. I don't care. So,
It doesn't matter if you do that with Bob and we go on Princess, they'll get us upgraded anyway.
well, I was going to just. You took the words out of my mouth. If we go Princess, we get perks, don't we?
Of course. Yeah. Lovely. Pete, I'll only be going if I can share a cabin with you, if that's all right with you.
He's saying nothing.
Said absolutely nothing.
Look, either he's frozen or he's dropped a bombshell on me.
In complete shock.
Looks shocked to me.
Oh, he has. He looks like he has frozen. I hope.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, I don't want to be negative, but I have to bring this one up. Bobby Charlton, who we have lost
Yeah,
a champion of British football, haven't we?
Mhm.
absolutely. Yeah.
86. Poor guy had dementia.
Mm.
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you ever when you were boys, do you ever buy the Tiger with Roy of the Rovers in it?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And on the front of the comic was the picture of Bobby Charlton. Right in the top right hand corner, every week, every episode or issue,
Yeah.
picture of Bobby.
Yeah.
So
I had the pleasure of seeing him play quite a few times at Old Trafford.
well, you have, and Bob, did you see Man United at Blackpool in years gone by with Bobby Charlton?
I did, yeah. Many moons ago, yeah.
Yeah.
He was one of the rare breed of all round footballers. Could do anything.
Yeah.
I remember
With
many moons ago,
both feet and head and everything.
we got a lad from United called Ian Moyer. He was a winger. And I can't remember, the early 60s. And the day we played United at Bloomfield Road, we stuffed them 4-2.
Really?
And he's never forgot that. He's never forgot it.
Never forgot it. No. One of the highlights of my football career, that was.
Yeah.
He went to Chester, didn't he? After that, Bob.
I can't remember, but he was a jock. He was quite a good player actually. He was okay. I don't know where he went after Blackpool. I've no idea.
The only time I saw Bobby Charlton was, unfortunately, the only chance I got to see him was playing at Bristol Rovers ground, which was not my ideal location, being a City supporter, but they played him in the Cup, and it was with Bobby Charlton and Georgie Best and Brian Kidd and what were the brothers? They had twins. Did they have twin brothers?
Morgan.
The Morgans, yeah. Was it Willie Morgan and some
Greenoffs, the Greenoffs.
Great.
and the Greenoffs, yeah. And the goalkeeper would have been Stepney. It wasn't long after the '68 European Cup, so it was a big team, you know, obviously. Bobby Charlton was there, so it was great to see it, you know.
Very good.
Yeah.
The first time I saw him, he was playing for United when they played Leyton Orient. The only time they've ever been in the first division. It was in the winter where it snowed and there was no football till about March. Do you remember that, Bob?
Yeah.
Yeah, they played them at Brisbane Road, and Dennis Law played. Bestie didn't. I think he might have only just broke into the first team. Charlton played, Dennis Law played, and Leyton Orient beat them 1-0. Incredible game.
They remember these, don't they? They remember.
No, that was an incredible game. Leyton Orient's ground only used to hold about 10,000, and they must have had 20 odd thousand in there.
I remember Margate going to Leyton Orient. I think we beat them 2-0.
Not surprising.
In the FA Cup, yeah.
Yeah, the last time I met up with him was in 2016 to celebrate the 50 years of winning the World Cup. They met at the Garden Hotel, which is in Knightsbridge, which was the hotel they went to after they won the cup in '66. There was about 8 of them there. You know, the few. Obviously, Bobby Moore wasn't there. He was very subdued, quiet man. You know, he let all the others do the screaming and shouting. He was a lovely bloke, really lovely.
Yeah. Brendan, you might have just Steve just brought up mentioning about Bobby Charlton, so just. But did you ever have the pleasure of seeing him in action?
Well, I was a guest with a lot of you guys. I remember the '66 World Cup, and I was only 9, but I sort of really turned on to football about that age. And I remember when he scored those goals against Mexico and Portugal, they called it the Bobby Charlton Thunderbolt. And I remember when we were kids in the street, and we used to play football when there was no cars, or you didn't have so many cars around. And if you hit one and it went well, we all shouted out "Thunderbolt," and that was the Bobby Charlton Thunderbolt. But I always remember. I don't know what Pete thinks about this actually, because him being a football sort of commentator over many years, I always thought that when Alf Ramsey brought him off on the quarterfinal against Germany, Beckenbauer had a free rein, and Germany went on to win 3-2. And I always thought that was a mistake, because I remember thinking when I was only, what was I'd been 13, thinking, why has he brought Bobby Charlton off? He's the best player in the England team, you know.
I think you've got to bear a few things in mind. He was what, 35 then? 30.
Yeah.
Right,
You don't think about that.
It was stinking hot.
Yeah.
And actually, he'd been given the job of man marking Beckenbauer, like he'd done 4 years earlier in the World Cup, because Beckenbauer was only what, 24, something like that.
Yeah, fantastic
he ran out of steam. He
Yeah.
ran out of steam.
That was in Mexico City, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Plus the altitude, the altitude as well.
That's a good point, Chris. Good point.
Well, thanks for saying that, Pete, because Brendan, for all these years, you've never forgiven Alf Ramsey, and it's too late to apologise now.
No, I mean, I thought Alf Ramsey was the best. You know, he was fantastic. I remember you think, why are you taking off the best player that we've got? But you don't realise, like Pete's put another perspective on it there. You know, the heat, his age, and Beckenbauer was a fantastic player.
Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah, he was.
Do you remember Alf Ramsey after the Argentinian game at Wembley when we beat them 1-0 and he called them animals?
That's right.
I'm trying to think who it was. I think it was George Cohen went to change shirts.
And he stopped it. He stopped.
He ran on the pitch and pulled him away.
Yeah.
I think it was Rattan, wasn't it? The Argentinian.
Was it? Yeah.
Rattan.
Rattan.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were the days.
They were.
Anyway, back to this week. England had a good game, didn't they, against Italy?
Oh yeah, they played. They did play well against Italy, didn't they?
Outplayed them.
Bellingham's something else, isn't he?
He is, yeah.
Yeah.
How good is that boy going to be?
No,
he's already at the right club.
Yeah,
very good. Very good.
Till Chelsea put £200 million together and pick him up or something.
Then he'll go down.
Colin Doherty.
Mr. Donut is coming in. That's good.
Yeah, I had a conversation with Billy Vader, which was a bit of a fiasco because his horses had escaped. So he was chasing horses on his ranch, and he couldn't hear me because he's on FaceTime, and I had the Bluetooth. But anyway, he promised me in 2 weeks' time you'll have a technician there, Chris. So 2 weeks' time we'll try again. Yeah.
Oh,
well, believe it when we see it.
Even better.
Probably looks somewhat like a Benny Hill running around the thing chasing horses.
Hello, Mr. Colin.
Greetings, exalted ones. Everyone okay?
Well done. Excellent.
Well,
good.
Nice to see you.
Johnny, I've got to ask you this, Johnny. I need to ask you every year. We need a hot tip. Who's going to win the Super Bowl? I need a tip. I want to put a $5 on a team to win. So give me your top tip.
Okay, the Detroit Lions or Kansas City Chiefs?
No, San Francisco 49ers.
All the 49ers, yeah.
There we go.
New York Giants.
Yeah. The 49ers. Yeah, he's right. The 49ers have a quarterback, and it's amazing. he lives in a small flat with a roommate. He drives a Toyota, and he doesn't spend any money because he's down to earth. So it's very, very unusual for American football players. No, normally they're driving Lamborghinis.
A bit like Pete.
Yeah. Okay. So
40 quid in bets for you, Brendan.
I'm gonna put a fiver on the 49ers then, Johnny. And if they don't come home,
yeah. Okay. Okay. You got it. You got it.
49ers.
Yeah.
Who was the cruise director, Babes? He used to always say he loved the 49ers.
Tony Martin.
Tony
Babes Martin. Yeah.
He loved the 49ers, but we always said we preferred the 69ers.
Yeah. I'll fiver on them.
That's it. Tony Babes Martin.
We used to call him, his nickname was, I don't know if you remember, we used to call him Cheese Martin because he was very cheesy, wasn't he? Cheesy guy, you know.
Oh, yeah.
He used to walk with his head, he always do like that with his head.
Yeah.
I liked her. He was a lovely guy, actually. He was a really nice guy. He was never horrible to any of us. He was always very nice, you know, and
but he only walked like that because the guy that was operating his strings wasn't that good.
Delighted. Tony, am I right in saying that you were with Captain Crichton back in the early days of the Spurs of London?
Yes, in 1973. Captain McGowan first took the ship out when she started her maiden voyage in November 1972. When I joined the ship in September 73, then Captain Crichton was master and Captain Clark was deputy captain. And Brian Langston Carter, now director of entertainment, was the cruise director. I was a deputy and Cliff Perry was the stage manager, assistant cruise director. That was way back in 73, when of course he was the Spirit of London.
Well, that was about as bad a bunch as you could find anywhere.
that was Gus Sexton.
Oh, Gus Sexton. Oh my God.
Anyway, why are we talking about sport, by the way?
Oh, I know. We're talking
about the cruise directors on the ship, Steve. All right, okay.
Steve's about 3 conversations behind.
Yeah. And Colin, that photograph BBC Pete's put up on, I thought it was a bit like the photograph of Dave Stevenson, and we think it was John Probert or whoever that
standing on the after deck.
Yeah, it looked like John Probert.
Do you think so?
What, the dish?
Yeah. But the photograph BBC
Here we go, boys.
up, we said, "Who's the Omi?" And
stand by for the
he said he took it out of a brochure.
Oh, thank you, Steve. That's one of my pictures. Thank you.
Yeah. Which one? Oh, yours, mine.
The one directly behind you now.
That's Colin's picture.
That's my picture.
That's a famous Colin Doughty picture.
It is indeed.
Which one are we talking about? The Billy Better? You mean the Dave Stevenson one?
The one behind Steve.
No, the one behind Steve.
Yeah, you have to copyright.
That's my shot. That's my shot. I took that with my camera.
Well, in that case, Colin, you'll know who the homie is.
No. Wrong. You're thinking about the wrong thing. We're talking about the one that's behind Steve's head.
Where's Steve? Steve.
Right in the middle.
That one. Oh, on Palm Island.
Palm Island.
Yeah.
That's me.
Hello, Taffy.
Guessing about 1979, 80.
Yes.
Give or take a year or two.
Yeah. No, 79, 80, definitely.
Palm Island.
Say again?
Palm Island.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Palm Island. Yeah. It was a good.
There's another one of mine somewhere on the system. A bit not so. What's the word I'm looking for? Grainy. It's a more clearer picture. The only thing that's missing is the sea witch on the funnel because there was a palm tree in the way.
Hey, Taffy.
Hi, Chris.
How are you?
I've got it on my set, but I can't pull it.
I'm feeling a little bit like you were last week after that loss yesterday.
Oh, and I'm not surprised. Blimey.
Blimey,
What an unbelievable game. And I have to say that's you haven't won the World Cup, but they got their usual ego back. England now are gonna. That's all you get in the newspapers now is how they're gonna win the Six Nations, but that's all right because they've always been like that. We've got used to that. We kind of like it, but they got their mojo back without a doubt.
Yeah, you got to agree. You got to agree they really improved, didn't they? From what they were.
And to lose it in the very last minute like that, well, I take my hat off to you, to be honest, because that would have cracked me. That would have, I think.
The thing is, the reason I follow England is because I'm crave disappointment.
Yeah.
they tend to trip up at the last hurdle, don't they?
They always do it. Whatever reason.
Rugby,
football, tennis,
any sport you like. Yeah.
Well, you'll be pleased to know that you are playing Wales up in Twickenham this February, so that'll be a nice change for you. So we like to be the underdogs, to be honest. And,
hey, Charlie, all right?
Yeah,
certainly will be in February.
Charlie, good to see you. We can't see the fan, so Brendan's worried about what the question he's about to ask you.
No, the weather's fine. I'm sitting outside the man cave. I'm in the garden.
Oh,
very balmy. Just a nice little gentle breeze.
Excellent,
Charlie. Don't rub it in.
Charlie, it looks as if you just come out of the gym.
Been working in the garden.
Well done.
Yeah.
Ted.
How's everybody?
Oh, fine, thanks, Charlie.
Very good, thank you.
Hope you're
okay.
All is well, Chris.
Yep, all's well. Thank you.
Yeah, lovely. Yeah.
I wanted to. I don't know. We were in Ireland, as you all know, and it was a fantastic get together. And I had a few observations, and I don't know if anybody else would agree with them. The things that I noticed about Ireland was the people the people were a lot slimmer. There didn't seem to be so many heavy people in Ireland. And the other thing was there wasn't any dog shit on the pavement. And the other thing I noticed was that there wasn't so many fast food places like Pizza Hut, McDonald's, Burger King, all these places. And I thought, good on the Irish, you know, they haven't bought into all of that. And it paid off because, you know, the population, I thought, you know, they didn't have such an obesity problem as they do have in England.
Yeah.
And I didn't see any, and I didn't step in any dog shit, which I was quite pleased about because I always step in dog shit. Doesn't matter where it is. If there's a dog turd on the street,
see what the quality's
like.
Yeah.
Test the quality.
So is it the fast food was helping for the population, but obviously we need to find out what the diet the dogs were on.
Yeah,
I got a question.
Yeah, good point, actually, Dave. Yeah.
Anyone know who?
Eddie.
Yeah, who's Ted trying to get in?
Who's Ted?
Yeah.
Is that your Ted? Isn't
Ted's
it your
iPad.
Ted, Colonel?
Ted's iPad.
Hang on,
Yeah.
he's coming in. He's connecting to audio now.
Whoever it is.
Oh, come on, Ted. We'll see you.
Yeah, whoever you are, show yourself, Ted. Well, talking about franchises, there's only one in Bermuda, Kentucky Fried. There's no McDonald's and all them other ones.
Really?
No Starbucks, nothing like that.
Oh.
Well, that's good in a way, I think,
Yeah.
because you know it helps with people's waistlines, but also
preserves
gives local businesses a
good
chance.
local jobs and stuff like that too, Brendan.
Yeah,
It keeps people employed in not low end paid jobs.
yeah. Local business as well. Local businessmen doing well.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Ted can hear us. You're muted and your camera's off. If you can hear us, Ted.
Ted, whoever you are, reveal yourself.
You're muted and your
Show
camera's
yourself, Edward.
Oh, well.
We don't know who it is.
All right. So,
If we don't know who you
Colonel,
are,
do you know
couldn't
who
come
Ted
in because
is, Colonel?
you'll get ripped to shreds.
I will try and start a chat with him and see
You'll
if
get torn a new one.
I wanted to ask everybody a question. Who was their favourite entertainer on the cruise ships that they came across? Was it a singer, a comedian, a dancer? Who was their favourite?
Oh,
Mine was a telly hop.
Charles, I'm talking about entertainers here.
she used to entertain you every night, Charlie.
She did, indeed, yeah.
Entertainment crowd.
You remember her, Pete, didn't you?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, well,
Ted Watson. Ted Watson.
Fond memories.
You want to rephrase that question?
I'll tell
Do you want to rephrase your answer, Charlie? Not my question.
I'll tell you what. Billy Vader was good as the comedian.
Yeah.
And along with Elton John as a singer. Elton John.
Leslie John.
What's his name?
Leslie John.
Leslie John. Yeah,
Leslie
Leslie John was a good singer. Yeah,
he was a good
But mind
singer.
you,
good
Elton
singer.
John was quite good as well.
Yeah, he was okay.
So they say.
Sorry, I don't know why that came out like that. Sorry.
What about Burial Davis? I mean,
Burial Davis.
Burial Davis.
Beryl Davis, lovely lady, heart of gold.
Yeah.
All the tattoos were spelt right.
But used to die on stage
Colin, how
on a
close did
regular
you get to her tattoos?
No, that was a joke. It's all right.
Oh, yeah,
She was about 107, wasn't she? That's why we called her Burial Davis.
Yes, it was.
As a great personality and singer, I have to say Lindsay Wallace was just a wonderful person. Delightful.
Hey, real name is Avril Russell.
Right. That's right. Yeah. And you weren't you saying that you were going to try to get her on?
I keep trying to get her on. It's not
I'd love
working.
to see her again. Yeah.
Just to tell her she's got a fan.
I will try again.
I knew her on the Oriana for quite a long time when she was with Mark Stevens.
Oh yeah.
And then of course she came on the Sun too. So we caught up again on the Sun quite a lot.
Yeah, Lindsay,
Martin Lewis,
lovely girl.
Martin Lewis, magician.
He was good.
Yeah. Listen, Martin Lewis.
The last time I saw her.
Go on, Chris. Go on.
The last time I saw Martin was we went to the Magic Castle in Hollywood, and he was propping the bar up at the Magic Castle, and we had a drink together, a good chat. That was some years ago.
I remember in the Starlight Bar, he'd done the late night cabaret. Martin did, and he was a good magician without doubt.
He was good.
Yeah.
He was good.
Anyway, he was sitting at the bar after the show. We were having a chat and a laugh and all that. And this guy came out and said, "Hey, Martin, you're a pretty good magician. You think you could make me disappear?" He said, "Yeah, fuck off." Crack me up.
Getting back to entertainers, Ray Davis and the Button Down Brass. Can you remember that?
Oh, Ray Davis and the
Button Down
Brass.
Yeah.
Derek, you're
Ray
going
Davis.
right back there now.
I
Martin Lewis, his dad was a very well-known magician. Previous generation. Eric Lewis.
Did you guys see these in a show at the crew bar, or was it mainly when you was working up top?
Working up top.
Mainly
because I'd never heard of half of these people. You know, we used to get the band nights.
You might see some
rarely
of them.
did we see what was going on up there in that sense.
Yeah.
That's why the telly
most
your
of
favourite
them
entertainer, Charlie.
Yeah, probably, Brendan.
Most of them we used to see in the showrooms. you know, doing either their
their
part
own.
in the said show that was on at the time, or their own
Right.
cabaret.
Right, right.
Who was the ventriloquist who had Big Al the kangaroo?
Oh God, that was on the Canberra.
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
when I
he-
remember him. Canberra or Sea Princess, can't remember.
What you're saying?
I
that
can't
the
remember his
Set-
name.
The Settlers had to be one of the best bands we ever had.
Oh yeah, they were very good.
Who was that
Oh,
again?
hang on. Look who's behind
The
Taffy now.
Settlers.
Yeah.
There he is.
There's
Look.
Elmer and Jeannie.
I gotta come in and say they
Yeah.
were a group.
Elmer.
Danny
a
Austin.
group. They were
Danny
the-
Austin.
Tony Austin, yeah.
Yeah, they were a real treat to work to be around them blokes. They were
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
were always they were never off form. They were always game for a laugh.
And they used to come up and perform outside the Union Jack Bar at lunchtimes too.
Oh, they
Sometimes,
were
didn't
brilliant.
Yes.
They were brilliant in the UJ bar.
They were good. They were good for business. They would
Yeah.
always. They would always draw a crowd.
Draw a big crowd, yeah.
Yeah.
I know, Colin, that you were asking about them. I think you mentioned them the other day.
I did, yeah.
And did you get my little video?
I think I need to relook at it. I'll see if I can find it later.
Well, it was. I visited them in Roseville on my way to Reno about 4 years ago,
Oh, right, okay.
and we had fish and chips. It was an absolute amazing afternoon because I just booked into a motel, phoned Jeannie, his wife, and she says, "Where are you?" And I said, "I'm in this motel." And she says, "Oh, there's a fish and chip shop there." I says, "Well, let's have fish and chips." And I'm not kidding you. It was a brilliant, and we were there for hours and
They
hours.
they live near Reno then, do they?
Not far, on the way from San Francisco, about halfway between San
Oh, right.
Francisco
Okay. Yeah.
and Reno.
Oh, okay.
And we had fish and chips, and he was in his late 80s then, I think, or
Right.
mid to late 80s, and he was coming out with all the Cockney rhyming slang.
Yeah.
That was
Oh,
me
well-
and John Tremblin taught him that.
Yeah, oh, he is fantastic, and they still are, and he still is. He's still well on it, and I think he
Oh,
may
okay,
be
good.
90 now. He's in good form.
Good.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Very good.
Hello, Gizzy.
Hey, David.
Hi,
John,
James.
Robbo,
All right.
Pete, Scotty, Chris,
Hey.
Steve, Brendan, Colin, Tough, Charlie,
Well done.
Bob.
And Ted.
Sorry I'm late, guys.
What about Ted?
Just had the lad and daughter-in-law round for dinner, and they've only just gone. So
I
I
know.
thought I'd get in before we finish.
Brilliant. Good
I must
boy.
say, Gizzy, that you're going back to the Premiership next year. Guarantee it.
You reckon, John?
Oh, I know so. Yeah. So
He
do you.
knows,
So you.
yeah.
Worth a fiver, Brendan.
Taffy's forgiven you already.
Well, I thought you were a Cardiff fan, Tough.
I'm any Welsh soccer team I'm a fan of.
Okay. I was through Cardiff last night.
I was talking to my nephew just an hour or so ago. It was his birthday. And that very subject came up. I says, Wales, at the very least, deserve one Premier Division football club.
Yeah.
If it's only one. And I wouldn't care whether it's Cardiff, Swansea, Wrexham or Newport.
Mhm.
You wouldn't worry. Or Barrytown. But I think they should have one because that Premiership is so. I mean,
English.
It's only because I'm interested who's winning because of you boys
Yeah.
and Watsy down under that I'm interested. But it's so lopsided as well and top-ended.
Oh yeah.
No,
Yeah.
There's five
It'll
or
remain
six
that way for a
teams
few
up
years
there.
too.
Yeah. So
I was through
think we
Cardiff
should
last
have-
night, Tough.
So send a few of your players down to give us a hand, because the one decent one we had is injured now already, and he's only played about 3 games.
No.
Awesome, say hello.
So Gizzy, we
Yes.
were talking about the entertainers on the ships, and you know a few names have been brought up. But have you got any memory of any favourite entertainer you used to enjoy watching when you were working in the bars?
Oh dear.
Guess you'll probably back Charlie up on that one.
Oh yeah, because Charlie, tell Gizzy who you used to enjoy being entertained every night.
By the telly-ups.
Well, it's funny you should mention telly-ops.
Oh, hang
Hello,
on.
everybody.
It looks like Donut's doing a ventriloquist act. Hang
Hello,
on.
everybody.
Charlie, you might know the guy. Do you remember?
Hello, everybody. My
Do you
name's
remember
Autumn.
the West Indian girl? I can't remember what her name was on camera. Can anybody remember her? Telephonist?
No,
Oh,
not a
Charlie.
West Indian girl, no.
She married a cook from the Canberra. Well, they actually live in Loughborough, which is about 2 or 3 miles from here.
No. What a story.
I was talking to ex-landlord or ex-landlady a couple of weeks back, and apparently she'd seen them and they sent her regards to me. I forgot the bloody name now.
He's got to done this. What's he done?
Oh. Hey, well, look. Well, we've got Colonel's Colin's assistant. Who's on your lap, Colin?
This is Autumn.
Hello, Autumn.
Is this your latest granddaughter?
Latest one, yeah. She's just coming up to 9 months.
Oh, brilliant!
Wow.
Brilliant.
Beautiful.
Yeah, yeah.
She's trying to cut me out of you guys. She keeps pushing the
trying
button.
to show you how to use the iPad.
She's trying to show me how to use it. Yeah.
Charlie's doing a ventriloquist act as well now.
Charlie should be showing you how to use it.
Charlie,
Oh, she wants to go now.
Didn't know her, the pussy, did you?
Now.
Yeah,
Pussy on your
Charlie.
I don't remember that telly up.
Youngest one on the crew bar.
So
There we
BBC
go.
Pete, who was not the ventriloquist? Who was the magician that we had on the Sea Princess? And he had the assistant with a sparkly bikini.
That Martin Lewis.
I can't remember him, but I can remember the assistant.
Martin did do it. Martin didn't have a sparkly assistant.
There was a young lad that did the Sea Princess. His name was Dobson. Can't think of his first name, but he did quite a few shows on the TV.
Right.
With who was the one that died?
Pete, you might remember. I think it was on the Ark. There was it was mind reading fella, the great somebody he was called. You remember him? Mind reader or whatever.
Not Morris Fogel.
No, it was called the great something or other. I thought.
You got me there.
Yeah, I got myself as well. I can't remember.
There was the guy on the West Coast, Glenn Falkenstein, who did that too, mind reading.
Yeah.
The Great Soprendo, was it?
No, I'm sure it began with R or something like that. Ronzini or Ron something. I just can't remember it.
That's it. Now,
Excuse me, guys. I'll be back in a minute.
All right, lovely, Colin. But the photographs behind the Colonel, who's behind you?
Well, you better ask Taffy. Ask Taffy.
Anyway, listen, guys.
Lawrence,
I got to leave.
Chris, you can't go until I answer who that good-looking chap is. That
That's
good-looking
Big Dog, isn't it,
guy in the
Dennis?
top left-hand corner with
Dennis
Oh yeah,
Murphy.
who's that handsome young man?
yeah. All the best, Chris.
Dennis Murphy.
All right.
Yeah, that's Big Dog. That is. I don't
Big
know who
Dog,
the
yeah, what was it?
See you next time.
Yeah, all
Bye,
the
everybody.
best,
Take care of
Chris.
yourself.
See you coming in.
I've got to go as well, guys. I'm sorry. I've got
All right,
things to
Bob.
do.
All
See
the
you
best,
next
Bobo.
time.
Take care, Bob.
See you, Bob. Cheers, boys.
Chris,
Yeah, I
and
knew Dennis very well from the Ronce.
it's Big Dennis,
Big Dog.
Taffy, and I don't know the girls.
I don't know the girls.
The
No.
girls are Sally, someone, the one on the left of Alan, and the
In the
little
middle.
one in between Big Dog and Alan is Chrissy, someone.
Chrissy, yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
not
she
Chrissy
was,
Sargent.
she was gorgeous, that girl.
Sure, no,
Absolutely
yeah.
gorgeous.
No,
It's not Chrissy
Bobo.
Sargent. No.
What's it?
Yeah.
Bobo?
Cheers,
Yeah.
Dan. See you later.
Don't
That's all
go
right.
dark on us.
I know
No.
me. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, bye-bye.
Yeah, all going well. All going. I had a bit of cold after our little walk, but yeah, not
Okay.
too bad. I've just been sort of taking it easy, but yeah, no, all good.
Lovely.
Has anybody
Yeah,
had
yeah.
that
Like an
flu
interesting
jab?
walk there, Bobo.
What
Sorry,
was that?
See you later.
BBC Pete.
Has
That
anybody
looked
had
like
that
an
flu
interesting
jab?
walk.
it was good.
Not yet. Not yet.
No, I haven't.
Yeah,
No,
fine.
not
I
yet.
just want a quick
No.
word with Pete when it's over.
We're gonna
I
have
have,
it. I think
I have.
I will have it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have it.
Yeah.
Yes,
I've had the
did
flu
you ask
jab and the
about the
latest-
flu
the
jab?
latest-
Because
I had the flu jab and the corona
COVID.
same
Yeah.
time on
did you
Monday.
feel
I
all
did,
right
yeah, so-
after it? Did you feel
No,
okay after it?
it gives you the aches
Yeah,
and
I
pains
did,
for a
yeah.
couple of days.
No, no, I had nothing with mine.
Yeah, I
I've
had
got
the
Nothing
aches.
at all. Just a little bit of an achy arm for about half a day.
Yeah,
Nothing else.
Colin, have you had? Is that both of them, COVID and the?
And flu jab, yeah.
Did you have it as a
And I'm
double,
on the same
double
day.
bubble?
Same day, double bubble, yeah. Absolutely no problem whatsoever with me.
Oh right,
Yeah.
good, good.
That's good.
What's
Yeah.
that mark on your head then, Colin?
What? I don't know. What is it?
Johnny, how's the COVID jabs over there? How often do you have to have them? Is it the same? I mean, are they giving you regular jabs for flu and COVID?
So in the USA, Brendan.
Yeah, yeah, where you are.
Oh yes, yeah, absolutely, yes, the same because especially in Washington State, 'cause we were the first state to proclaim that we had the first person who had COVID. Oh yeah,
Okay. Ah.
yeah.
You have to pay, John. You have to pay.
No. It's all through the insurance. But
Oh,
that's
right,
a good
okay.
that's a good question. It's complicated. It's complicated because, you know, when you get to Medicare, which is the thing we have over here, it all kicks in. But it is complicated. But in the end, the insurance all pays for it. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
right.
I've got two questions that.
But you have to pay for the insurance, though.
Well, yeah, but yes and no, because your Social Security, your Medicare is free, and then you pay a supplement, which gives you a bonus sort of stuff. It's not much money.
Oh, okay, right, okay. But we rely totally on the NHS.
Yeah.
I've got two questions that relate to this, and I'd really like to put it out there as a test ground. Because it is a particular interest to me, because I'm still virtually shielding. I won't go into, although I went to the reunion.
Oh, good, never thought that. I never thought that.
I never felt
It's cold in there.
comfortable once, but I always had to be a couple of meters away from everybody.
That
helps.
Okay.
So it really interests me to know, one, how many corona jabs have you had? And I've had 8.
I've had 3.
Three. I've had three.
I think 4.
4, sorry.
Four.
I've had
I
4.
could have 4, but
I think we've had 5.
Yeah,
I think it's 5, Tuff. 5.
I think
and the other question is, because I've had 3 years where I've been virtually shielding. That's why I bought the Taffmobile, so as I could do my trips without having to go on public transport or planes or anything. So the other question is, and after 3 years of being ultra careful, 6 weeks ago I caught the latest version of this fucking corona, and it knocked me to bits. I couldn't get out of bed for 4 days. The bed was soaking wet. I was in a horrible state. I won't go into any more details than that, but it took about 3 weeks to get over it. But what I will say is, that's one, I've caught it once. How many people have caught it and how many times?
Oh, I've had it once, without doubt.
I think I've had it twice, definitely once.
0.
Right.
I'm a 0.
Zero, Derek. Well done, Derek.
Yeah, well, guys.
You're
We
very
are
lucky,
both
Scotty.
zeros.
Oh, well done. Yeah.
Hospital
Well
with
done.
mine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it. Thanks, everybody. That's given me
And
a
it,
bit
and it's
more
how
information
it's
on
still
everything.
zero.
I don't know whether
know.
it'll be any help to me,
I,
but
I've had it twice, but it's not really been bad. You understand what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this.
I've tested positive, but I've not been ill as such.
I
And
think
I
it
lost
affects.
my
I
sense
think
of
everybody has a
smell.
different reaction to this. This is not.
Yeah.
It is not a sole symptom of this. Everybody reacts differently to it
Hmm.
because it's a
How,
virus.
how we've
But
how we've remained zero.
the thing about a virus is that every time it moves from one to another, it changes its DNA.
Correct.
But they changes part of it, part of their DNA, and that's why it's a problem to control.
Right.
Anyhow, it's a miserable subject. So to finish it off, I will tell you that I have now made arrangements that if I ever catch this again, this corona again, they will deliver the viral drugs, antiviral drugs to me. As long as I get in touch with my consultant within 5 days. They'll
Okay.
deliver the antiviral. So that means because I don't want to go through that again.
Yeah.
So I got a bit. It's made me get a bit more organized, if you like.
Yeah.
Anyhow, that's all. Thanks everybody.
Yeah.
Oh no, thanks.
You get a
Thanks,
nurse
Scotty.
come with it.
I was
Yeah,
going to
that
say
would be. Well, I'd be certainly sweating if I had it, by the seams of it.
I was going to say how we remain zero for. I don't know because we've been in the hospital wards for the last 4 weeks, every day.
Yeah.
Haven't caught a thing.
You
So-
might have a natural
Let's hope it
immunity.
stays that way, Derek.
Scotty.
Hope it stays
Yeah.
that way, mate.
I've got another 3 to go.
You'll know when you've got it, Derek. Believe me.
Good
Yeah.
boy. Good boy. Mm.
Mhm.
Oh,
COVID
Right,
check
I'm going to
is
cut out,
possible
boys
to
and
go in.
girls.
All right, boys. Well, look, I know Colonel's wherever he is, but he was going to say to me, obviously, be prepared to put the traffic lights up, which we will do. And thanks for everybody coming in. It's always good to see everyone. And
Dave, ask about the Oscar tail.
why do you want me to ask about the Oscar tails, Colonel?
It's the best ever. Because guess who? Guess part of it.
Colonel,
Me-
is this episode 1 or 2 now?
That's episode. This is part 2
Part
of
2.
Skagway, and
All right,
me,
this is
me and
part
Mrs.
2.
Clinton and Sammy Bradford. At the end of it, oh, it's brilliant. You'll see.
Right.
Can I just add one little thing? I've been in touch with Gizzy about I'm going to be up in Leicester in January next year, and it's just a couple of nights, but pass it around if anybody else wanted to meet up there in Loughborough second week in January.
Yep, I'll be
Leave
there.
it out there. If you've got time, maybe one night or on 2 nights or whatever, and meet Gizzy, our intrepid host.
Mhm. Lovely. Oh, that's very kind of you, Gizzy. We'll look forward to coming up.
are you going to be playing?
We're all piled down his house. clear out all his booze locker.
Clear out my
Clear
beer
away.
fridge.
More in a bed all
I'll
you
have
can
to
eat.
pass on
I
that
know
one.
where it is, Gizzy. I know where your booze locker is.
Anyway,
do,
something
Bobo.
to think about. Something to think about.
He
We'll all
had
bring
the,
our
Bobo had the
ukuleles
attempt when he
with us.
came before, but I managed to fend him off.
Have you got a
Well,
driveway, Gizzy?
Pardon?
Have you got a driveway?
I've got a driveway, Taff, and I've got a front lawn.
Can I get the Taffmobile on there?
You get it on the driveway, yeah.
on the driveway.
Most of our mates and
and
relatives.
Brendan, we can have
their
the
cars
tent on
my
the front
when
lawn.
They go on holiday.
Yeah.
Is
How
it-
many
is
can we
it
get
big
in the
enough?
tent?
Is
You
it
can
big
sleep in a
enough for a
tent on the lawn
4-man
in
tent or
January.
a
I wouldn't
10-man
do it.
tent?
So we could have a tent on Gizzy's front lawn.
Yeah,
In January.
in
Right.
January.
January.
Right.
Yeah.
There'll be a few moans and groans, wouldn't there?
The more that's in the tent, the warmer we'll be.
Oh, what's
Okay.
this? Shared bodily warmth, is it?
And
Correct.
Bobo,
Is that what
Bobo
it
will
is?
confirm it's right next to the bus stop, so you haven't
It
got
is.
far to
It's
travel.
great location. You step off the bus into his house.
It's called Leicester
Oh.
Love.
Great. We're looking forward to it.
Okay, we'll see
Yeah,
you guys.
See you later, guys. Take care now.
Well, thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Bye then.
Pete, are you there, Pete?
Oh, he's gone. I need a word with Pete. I'll get in touch on Messenger.
All right.
Hello, everyone. This is Oscar from Ollie's Pocket with Oscar Tales. The Tale of the White Pass and Yukon Route, Part 2. The White Pass was built by British financing, American engineering, and Canadian contracting. Building started in 1898, and two teams, one from each end, met in the middle at Carcross on July the 29th, 1900, when Samuel H. Graves drove in the Golden Spike. Tens of thousands of men, 450 tons of explosive, built 110 miles of narrow gauge railroad track, with the summit at 3,000 feet, only 20 miles from Skagway. When the railway was restarted in 1998 as a tourist railway called the White Pass and Yukon route, it only ran to Summit, but later is extended to Lake Bennett in 1990 and Carcross in 2007. During the days of Spirit of London and early days of Sun Princess, a coachload of passengers used to disembark at Skagway and take the daily train to Whitehorse. The incoming daily train from Whitehorse used to bring the same number of passengers to join the ship. This was in conjunction with a coach company that gave them a tour of the Yukon. One day, Sun Princess called at Skagway, and away went a small group of passengers and their luggage to the downtown depot to embark on the daily train to Whitehorse. Alongside the ship on the railroad dock stood the excursion train, ready to load its happy band of travellers for the trip to Lake Bennett, where they were to have their lunch before returning to the ship late afternoon. Away went the daily train, to be followed an hour later by the excursion train from alongside the ship. As the railway was single-tracked with passing places, everything had to be very carefully choreographed, where trains met and passed each other. Delays and breakdowns did mess up schedules sometimes. However, this particular day was a real doozy and affected everyone, both up the mountain, back at the ship, and especially at the White Pass and Yukon Railway Depot and workshops. All was well on the outward trip of the daily train and the following excursion train. The two daily trains passed each other at Carcross, and the down train to Skagway paused at Lake Bennett on the passing track for the excursion train to arrive, which it duly did. And then the daily train set off for Skagway. The excursion train passengers had their moose stew, and as usual, all remarked that it was not much different taste to beef, though some who said they were cooking experts said it tasted more gamey. Later, all embarked on the train for the return trip, and off it set back down the track towards Skagway. As usual, some of them, full of stew, with all the excitement, had themselves a little nap. They would not have napped so serene had they known what was happening down the track. The daily train had come to a halt on a single track with a fault on the lead locomotive of the two locomotive train. Examination found it had broken the front axle and was going no further. A radio telephone call to the depot at Skagway saw the immediate departure of a breakdown train and crew to the aid of the stricken train. On arrival, the breakdown crew uncoupled the lead engine from the train, and it was inched down the track for quite a distance until it got to a passing point and was put on the siding. It took hours, and by now the excursion train had come up behind the daily train and was stopped there until the line could be cleared. It was not safe for the daily train to proceed with one locomotive in case it ran away on the steep grades, so they decided to send to Skagway for another locomotive. It was then that some bright spark had a better idea. Why not let the two locomotives of the excursion train close up and hook onto the back of the daily train, making one very long train with one loco at the front, two in the middle, and more coaches behind? Then that would solve the problem, and no waiting for an engine from Skagway. This worked, and at slow, majestic pace down the mountain came the exceedingly long train. Meanwhile, back at the dock, the captain fumed at the delay of departure. And well into the evening, the excursion train arrived at the dock, followed by a bus from the town depot with embarking passengers from the daily train. All aboard! And finally we set sail for Glacier Bay. After several years of successful seasons in Alaska, Princess got greedy. Let's stay longer next year and do more cruises, said one of the bosses. So next season, instead of 16 cruises, the first week in May to the first week in September, they added in a couple more in September. The first problem with that it was all the tourist facilities in Alaska during the short summer season are staffed by students from schools on holiday, or in the case of bus drivers, from older college students. So they found many places closed for the season already. The second was the weather. And that's when we found out why the season finished at the end of the first week in September. On our last cruise, we pulled into Skagway in light snow. I must admit that it was wet snow that melted on touching the ground, but the looks of disbelief on the passengers' faces were a sight to behold. Off went the excursion train in a snowstorm. That, of course, got worse as the train went up to the summit at 3,000 feet. It did not faze the White Pass train crew at all. They were used to going all the way to Whitehorse in snow and below zero temperatures in midwinter, and this was nothing to them. However, in spite of roaring wood stoves in each passenger car, the passengers were somewhat miffed. The train arrived back rather late, as they slowed down a little on the trip back, which did not please the captain at all. After the letters and comments from the passengers had been digested by head office, it was decided that in future to stop Alaska season after the first week in September. It is worth noting that the shops were delighted that day and sold out of sweaters, coats and scarves. Another Sun Princess moment on the departure of the excursion train was the day of Billy Vader's wedding, when the happy couple were riding the back car of the train on the balcony, off on their honeymoon train trip, with the whole ship's company waving them off. I, of course, had to do one better, and I raced off on my bike after the train, keeping pace down the roads of Skagway and out along the path beside the railway, all the way to Soapy Smith's graveyard, where the path ended, waving and shouting and ringing my bell all the way. I later found out that Billy had been filming my wild ride from his train car, and it ended up on his wedding day movie. Now, who remembers the smallest train that made the trip, with none other than that famous captain, Sammy Bradford, and our own Colonel John Kling? It seems that the Skagway ship's agent found out that Sammy was a train enthusiast and wanted to earn brownie points, and have arranged for Sammy and his wife and another couple to travel in a tiny diesel inspection car on a trip to Whitehorse and back. Did Sammy ask the purser? No. The staff captain? No. The chief engineer? No. None other than John and Cindy Kling, as John was his favourite steward from way back. You might well ask how this came about. Well, are you sitting comfortably? And I will begin. We go back some years, when John worked in the Stern Gallery Bar on Oriana. Sammy Bradford was staff captain on the same ship. Sammy was well known for getting a bee in his bonnet about little things, and would then niggle him all the time. His pet peeve on Oriana was the deck overlooking the stern and the empty glasses from the Stern Gallery Bar left out on the deck. Every morning he set out on his round at exactly the same time and arrived at the stern deck at exactly 10:37 hours. And if finding a dirty glass, would go into his one well-known tirades at the bar staff. An enterprising steward called John Kling would check the deck at 10:36 hours. He would do one of two things. A, if he saw a glass, he would place himself nearby and wait. And B, if there were no glasses, he would place some glasses down and then wait nearby. Promptly at 10:37 hours, Staff Captain Sammy Bradford marched onto the deck, only to find every morning the same steward picking up the glasses and diligently doing his job and cleaning up Sammy's pet hate. This gladdened Sammy's heart, and he had nothing but admiration for such a loyal and hard-working member of his staff. And he calmed his itch of dirty glasses on the aft deck. So when they met again on Sun Princess, his favourite steward and his wife Cindy from the shop were invited on the special trip up the mountain on the White Pass Railroad. The senior officers were not even considered. Well, that's all, folks, for this week. From Oscar. Oh, and always remember,